That was my mom and dad. And that clock has been in that position for I don't know how many years. But even a stopped clock is right twice a day. Just saying. I wanted to show you guys this. This is my new gift from my son. And it clamps on up here. And I can put my phone in here. And then I could maybe have you guys get a look at what I'm doing when I'm grinding. So, let's take a look at it and see if this helps you guys understand. So I can see it okay. Well, good. So I'm left-handed. This is my left hand in case the thing is backwards. I don't know. But anyway, I lead in with the edge and I rotate the bottom down until I pick up my hollow. And then I make sure that this left edge is right along this one, the right hand edge. So I get it on up there and then I start applying pressure with my left hand. Right off the bat. And then my right hand equalizes. In other words, I'm not letting the handle push too hard. So my right hand equalizes the pressure. And then I'm throttling on to apply just a little. You see that little gap, that little shadow? Watch. Right now there's no shadow, right? And now there's a little shadow. That little shadow is what I'm working on to move my grind line back. Now this is how I know I'm about to get burnt, because that dad burned water evaporates when the heat gets hot. Now you can see I have, let's see if I can see it. Kind of hard to tell. Oh, well right here is where my new grind is, and I'm leaving this back here, it's not getting ground. So let's do it again. Now you see I give myself a little shadow. All I'm applying is just a little bit of pressure on the spine. I get a little bit of a shadow. I'm applying pressure with my left hand, equalizing with my right. And then, as I get it where I want it, I just move it across the blade, apply pressure with my thumb. So now you can see a little bit. You see, there they are. See the facets that I'm leaving behind? So I'm not hitting my edge at all. I'm only grinding up on my grind line. Oops, still hot. So that's my throttle on, albeit a left hand. Maybe there's some left-handed motorcyclists out there, I don't know. Now what I was doing, you may have seen that I had a bit of a belly right here. And so what I was doing was applying pressure this way, the leverage pressure, to work right in this area. And I got it into where I wanted it, and then I held it in tight. And then I took that material away. Okay, pressure with my left hand, equalizing. Give myself a little bit of a shadow at the edge, just a little, not a lot. You can see how my grind edge, my grind line is moving up towards the spine. Notice I'm dropping my handle down like this, so I'm actually, see how my grinds are coming square on. I don't know if you can see, they're coming square on to the grind line, whereas if I just kept them going this way and then I pulled it out, this would be thicker. I don't want it thicker, I want the radius of the wheel to grind that material away. And that gives me a nice thin transition from the spine to the point. And I am doing that on purpose. I've been doing this for 40 years. Well, 43 years if you want to be really accurate. I was 16 and I'm 60. So 60, yeah, 60. I'm going to be 61. Wow, I guess it's more like 44. Going to be 45 this year. Golly. Well, okay. So you can see I have more pressure on this end, so my leverage is heavier on my left side, and I didn't grind much over here. So now I'm going to get in this space, and I'm just going to grind right in this space. I'm going to get myself a shadow, and I'm just going to hold even pressure right here. A little bit of a shadow, and then taper it off. See, I've moved a little bit of that grind line. Now I'm going to go back to my ricasso, or the plunge. I guess I should call it the plunge, huh? It's a plunge. Go back to my plunge. Now I'm putting quite a bit of pressure. I don't know if you can see the white on my thumbnail, but I'm applying quite a bit of pressure. Yeah, that brought my grind line up quite a ways, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, so then I put my thumbnail at the point, I rotate it across, and I can see that I'm still a ways from my other point, so I got a little bit more to go here. And if I go like this, I can flip like so, flip it over, and I can compare, right? So I'm getting pretty darn close to a mirror image there. That's about as far as I want to go, really. Except, I need to make this look a little bit better. See how this one looks a little cleaner, the transition there from the plunge to the grind line. That's got a little bit of a dip to it. So real light pressure, but I'm definitely heavy on the left hand. Not a lot, but I mean heavy. And see if it comes out any better. I got just a little bit there still. A little bit more. That's looking pretty good now. So I'm going to leave that alone. This is a rough grind. When I get ready to do the final grind, now you can see I've got a thick edge here. I've got a long way to go till I get to that center point. So now that I've got my, whoops, I gotta check this again. I'm pretty dang close, aren't I? Look at that. Pretty dang close. Yeah, I think I'm right there. I'm not gonna do any more on this. So now I'm only gonna work on the edge. So I'm going to throttle off, which means I'm going to put edge pressure on. I'm going to stay away from my grind line. I'm not using a lot of pressure on this because I don't have a long way to go, and I don't want to overheat the steel. This is not hardened steel, but I still don't want to. See that facet I've got started right there? That means I'm only grinding on the edge. Looking good so far. I'm having a good time making this video now that I've got this nice phone holder. And I've got this 2x4 up there to clip it onto. So what I do is I grind till my center line edges. There's two of them, one on each side. And I grind till that edge marking is gone. I don't leave that center line mark. Yeah, you can see that center line mark. When I get done, you won't be able to see that anymore. I make that center line go away. Some people leave their center lines. I take mine away. I want my edge to be the actual thickness that I mark it. And that means I have to get to the center. Because even the scribe has thickness because it's got a little depth to the edge there. Now I'm just going to use my left hand initially to kind of take down most of this. Oh, it's starting to get warmed up there a little bit. You're not taking any temper out because the knife's not heat treated yet, but you are going to if you get it too hot, you can start burning away the carbon. In other words, if you get it red hot, don't get it red hot. That's the point. Okay, my center lines are all gone, and it's nice and straight and center. Okay, so now I got to take these facets and I got to move them all the way up here. So now I'm going to throttle off, but then I'm going to add just a little throttle on and get the top of that facet to start moving forward. See how I'm grinding right in the middle now? I'm not on my edge, I'm not on my grind line. Ouch! If you think you're going to grind knives and not burn your thumb, you're living in a fantasy world. I've been doing this for 44, almost 45 years, and I pretty much burn my thumb every time I grind. If you don't burn your thumb, you got technique, mad skills technique. Because I always burn my thumb. But I don't care. My thumb is not one of those digits that I feel like I need to have a high degree of sensitivity. You know, your fingertips, like your index finger, you use that a lot for a variety of different things. And you want to have a nice, sensitive fingertip. But my thumb, I don't really care a whole lot. So I work pretty much on this area right here, and I'm pretty much from the edge to the... I'm not getting it exactly right now, because once I get all of this pretty much nice and even across, I'll do a couple of final stingle passes to go through, and I will get a nice even grind. I want to stay in the center for now. I don't want to be at my edge or at my grind line until they move all together into place. So one of those things you have to kind of learn is when to stop. So when you're a new knife maker, you can give yourself a little grace for not doing a great grind line the first time. You know, I mean, use that knife as your test knife or something. Something you test your edges, or maybe you'll finish the knife and put it on your hip, you know, and carry it for a while. And yeah, you know that the blade isn't ground proper, but you're not giving it to somebody, you're not selling it to anybody. So you can afford, it'll still be a serviceable knife. I have a saying, and it's worth repeating every time I'm on YouTube, and this might be one of those times. Form follows function. In other words, how beautiful the knife is not as important as how functional the knife is. However, beauty is still a part of the equation. It follows function, but it's still a part of the equation. So if it doesn't look nice, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of money for your knife. I mean, if you're trying to sell them, if you're giving them away, then people probably don't care how pretty it is. They're just glad to have, you know, a really nice edge-holding tool, and they're not really too concerned about how fancy your grind line is or not, you know. So I think my sandpaper's a little bit over on the edge there. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it. I'm just putting most of my work right in this area. I really want to bring this up and then I'm gonna work out here. This is hard. This is not easy right here. Getting that to be even is not, and you don't want to apply a lot of pressure. Look, if you make a mistake and you're applying a little bit of pressure, you could probably fix it. It'll probably go away. I mean, literally be gone. But if you apply a lot of pressure and you make a mistake, yeah, you may not fix it. It may be forever. And then you'll say, well, I guess I'm going to throw that one in the trash. Or I'm going to turn it into a different knife. I've done that before. Taken a knife that was, you can see, I'm getting nice and in between all the way across. Take a knife that's, you know, not finished, but I make a mistake. Well, heck with it. I make a different style of knife. So I can actually grind that mistake out, and it's actually just gone. I just changed the knife design. I've only ever had to do that a couple times, but one time I changed from a big knife to one of my standard little knives. I don't even remember how I made that mistake, but it sucked. Okay, going to the point is hard also. You can see right here, maybe you can, this part right there is not down to my edge. Oh, there it is, see it? It's not down to my edge yet. So I gotta work on this and work that down to my point. So I keep holding it up here and putting a little bit of pressure on the tip as I come across. Try not to burn my finger too much. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, oh, you can see something. You know what? I'm going to leave that. Again, this is a rough grind. It's not a finished grind. You see all the rust on these blades? This is D2, and it does have 12% chromium, and it does inhibit rust. But I don't care. When it's in rough format like this, after you heat treat it, you got to sand all that away. And by the way, the heat is going to remove a lot of material too. So, yeah, I don't even know what all that is. Looks like rust. Doesn't matter though. Ferric oxide, right? Cleans off with water. All right, people. Well, let's check this out again. I didn't go any further. Oh, I did go a little bit. Yeah, I did go a little bit further up. But that's okay. When I go to finish grind the blade, I can equalize these two sides. I haven't violated my center lines, because it's nice and straight and even. I do have a little bit of a different shape down here, but when I go to finish grind, I use a soft F-weight sanding belt, and it will just smooth that right out. It'll look really pretty. I don't do anything on my spine. I just heat treat it that way. Same with my flat grind. I just leave it at 40 grit. I will take this down next on the flat grinder, and I'll show you how to do that. If I haven't already, I'll do it again.